I didn't think I would be placed in this position, but here I am nevertheless. My name is Yvonne Webb. I am a colleague of Tony Howell. When I joined the Guardian newspaper in 1991, I met Tony there in the South Office. We were both freelancers. I had known him a little while before when he worked at the Express, but it's the first time we would have worked together. Being freelancers, in those days, we were not like now, we were not given assignments. We had to create our own assignments, and we were paid per stories published. Tony and I were kind of kindred spirits, and we shared a passion for arts and culture. And because we were paid based on stories published, we teamed up to go on assignments, and we maximized on every assignment that we went on. So when we went on one assignment, we came back with many stories. And we did not work around the clock. We did not watch the clock. We did not watch the day of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we worked whenever and wherever there was assignment. And Tony and I shared a passion for arts and culture. And we would go out on assignments, and in those days, neither of us had any form of transportation. So when we would go out in the field and go out on assignments, and most cultural events were at night, and Tony would make sure that I got a taxi. He would make sure that I was in a taxi, a safe taxi, and that he would call to make sure that I got home safely. He was one of those persons who would open and close the door for you, the taxi, right? He was that kind of a gentleman. And we developed a special kind of friendship over the years. And at the Guardian, we were like a family. The people who worked at the Guardian were like a family. And Tony and I more so because of our interests. He became friends with my relatives, and most of the photographs that I have, they were taken by Tony. And when my daughter was born, my first daughter, when she was born, and there were times that I did not have a babysitter. There were times when I did not have a babysitter, and I would have to take her on assignments with me. And Tony, and by that time I would have had a vehicle, and Tony would sit in the front seat. I am driving, Tony would sit in the front seat and have my daughter Faith on his lap, right? And and he would, wherever we would go, he would help me to take care of her. I remember in those days, not like now because of the pandemic and all of that, we were invited to a lot of social events by the business sector, especially at Christmas time. And wherever I could take Faith with me, I would. And Tony would put her on his lap, and he would even though I had her baby bag and all of that, he would put her bottle in his pocket, right? So many people thought that Tony was her dad, but it wasn't so. Tony was never once out of place with me. Tony was a true gentleman. He was more than a colleague. He was like a brother to me, right? And there were times when he would go out on assignments when I couldn't go because I had my commitments. And he would go and he would conduct interviews and come back and dictate the story to me. And when I was finished writing that story, no one would believe that I was not there, right? He was good like that. I often encouraged him to write, But I think he was a bit lazy. He didn't like writing. He preferred to take his photographs. He would go and he would conduct a perfect interview. A perfect interview. Ask all the relevant questions, and I don't know. I never thought that, there are people, I never thought that Tony would die. Right? There are some people that you think would last forever. He was one of those people. And throughout, when he got sick, I remember the night he fell ill, we were at the MSJ. I can't remember, was it an election or something? I can't remember. We were there at Farms Club. And he was showing me his feet and how his feet were swollen. And I said, Tony, you want to drop home? And he said, no, he wanted to stay back because he had some photos that he did not get and he wanted to take. That was his kind of dedication. Wherever he went, he wanted to make sure that he had the kinds of photographs that he wanted. And when I think it was David Abdul who told me that he got someone to take Tony back to the Guardian. And after that, well, he fell ill, and I think that was the last time that he worked. But over the years, we would have maintained a close relationship. I would call him, I would message him, he would call me, we would talk, and last year was the last time I saw him. When another of our colleagues, which is Ndalai, died, I went home, I called him, he said he was interested in going to the funeral. So I called him, I went home, I picked him up, took him to the funeral, then we went to the creek, and he was able to socialize and meet some of his media colleagues that he hadn't seen for a long time. We still have those photos, So the memories I have of Tony are, everlasting. They're very profound and joyful kinds of memories. Of course, I later became the head of the news desk in South, and we had some differences and whatnot. Like any family, we had our differences, but we remained friends, And as I said, Tony was more than a friend to me and to the people he worked with at the Guardian, especially in the South. I know Rishi could testify to that, right? So, Rishi, I don't know if you want to share something with the people here later. Okay. What about you, Rena? Come and share some of your memories of Tony.
Hello, good evening, everyone. What to say about Tony? He was too good and too special. He was a quiet guy. We share lots of memories together and work with him. I worked just for a while with The Guardian. He was a very nice guy, humble, very respectful. That's it, I think. I'd say Yvonne just said enough. Okay, thank you.
One of his close friends, partner in crime, Curtis. Let's welcome Curtis.
Hello, everyone. I first met Tony decades ago. Don't let the youthful appearance fool you. Decades ago when I was teaching a photography class and he was one of my first students. A lot of the people there were learning photography as a hobby. He is one of the few that took it to a profession. And over the years, we always maintain contact with each other. I know the children, his wife, everyone. Everybody knows that Tony was a great photographer. Right? Most of you might have come in contact with him through the profession. Right? So I won't speak of that. What I will speak of is, it was one thing that defined Tony to me, was his love for his children. And when I say his children, I mean every single one. Tony was so proud of each of them. Every time I meet him, this one do that, the other one so. Everything that was his life. His children was his life. He loved each one of them individually, equally. Right? And there's personally that your daddy loved you, each one of you. He was proud of each one of you, and continue making him proud going forward. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Junior Bisnat, the Moko Drumley man, the constructive Tony Howell. I remember seeing Tony Howell the first time at a Black Stallion record launch on 3rd Street. And from since that day, any other cultural show in and around San Fernando, you're sure, if nobody else from the San Fernando media, you're sure to see Tony Howell to cover the story for what happened in South. So I would like you all to put all your hands together and pick up Tony Howell for always representing San Fernando, the south part of Trinidad. Tony and I became good friends because almost every event I attend, you were sure to see Tony, and we may walk up the road together, and I'll drop him home sometime. I walk in, not in a taxi. Right? And where I work at Ministry of Works, I planted a lot of fruit trees, and whenever fruit's in season, I must pass and drop some for all my media friends, Tony especially, and Miss Yvonne, and everybody else too. So I remember seeing Tony 2 years ago, Tuesday morning, walking down High Street. He had a walking stick, and even though Tony wasn't so well, Tony still wanted to come out and see the action, what happening in San Fernando, because that is what he has been doing for years. And you're sure to see Tony all the time. All the people in culture, everybody know Tony. They will know Miss Yvonne also, they know what's Rishi, all of them. But Tony have been there serving over about 3 decades. Yeah, about 3 decades. And wow, what a great loss. I just came from a funeral. Another co-worker of mine who retired just 1 year ago. And just a few months ago, we made a long service award, and I asked the media to come and cover the story. And they all came. And I always like to say thanks to the media for supporting all the events that I invite them to. And that friend just got sick just recently and passed on. He was like one of my apprentice trainee, co-worker, brother, and I had to go and give him that farewell this afternoon. And here it is, I'm sending another good friend. I mean, in this time, it's so much of pain that we're losing so much of our good friends. I mean, 2 funerals, within 1 week. And just recently, I went to 3 funerals in 1 week. I never had something like that in my lifetime before. What a time we're going through in this 2021, 2022. So much to say about Tony. But he did well. Right? He did well. And he's a person that we will always remember. Thank you for this time, this opportunity to speak on behalf of Tony. Thank you.
There's so much really to say about Tony, and it's really a great loss. And as Curtis was talking about his love for his children, I can testify to that. He loved every one of them, and he treated all of them, his children and as his own daughters. And I think in sickness we saw that love being reciprocated because, you know, they took care of him. Another person who would have known Tony very well and would have worked with him, I think she was the one who would have encouraged him to come to the Guardian, former manager of the Salvador, Hazel.
I think you can hear me through the mask, hopefully. I guess it's politically correct to keep it on. I just want to say good evening and welcome to everyone. In typical Guardian style, I was a bit late for the assignment. But you know, Tony was so much a part of the community of San Fernando, and he has been, before I met Tony, which would have been the late 80s, I met Tony already on assignment freelancing and encouraged him to join the Guardian. And it was just a brilliant relationship. Like every family, we had our ups and downs. You know, sometimes we'd see someone's name spelled incorrectly in a caption, and we might go a bit crazy, right, Yvonne? But Tony was a person who always made time for everyone. If you met him on the street in San Fernando, he would stop what he was doing. He could talk about politics, he could talk about culture, he could just talk about everything that was happening in Trinidad and Tobago. And a bit like myself, who is an import, you could say, Tony arrived many years ago on vacation from Guyana, from the bauxite mining town of Linden. And he was absolutely blown away by the culture and the carnival, and he loved it so much that at a young age he determined to come and live in Trinidad and Tobago. And looking at the state of Guyanese and Trinidad and Tobago relationships these days, I think if Tony was alive, he could have been a great ambassador and could have healed whatever wounds exist, because loved Trinidad and Tobago, and yet was very proud of his Guyanese heritage as well. And I'm hoping now that he has left a legacy for these 5 beautiful girls. Maybe some of them will branch out and go and represent Trinidad and Tobago and in Guyana, because, you know, it's part of the Caribbean region. So there's nothing to stop us all continuing and to mend fences. To benefit from their great oil finds somehow. So let's face it, you know, we cannot afford to be insular in the Caribbean region. We're together, united and stronger. But in relation to Tony again, what can we say? He was totally dedicated to his work. He probably was the person who most felt at home in the Guardian, because we couldn't get him to go home sometimes. He would make sure that whoever was working late would not be left alone. He made sure everyone got home safely, because, you know, for many years we didn't have security, and we had keys to the office. Tony had his keys if Yvonne was working late, and often Yvonne would be there with her young children. He made sure Yvonne was safely out of that office. So in the meantime, we had all these beautiful girls growing up, and Tony was very, very proud. We would see them growing up. We saw Natalie and Natalia, Nicolette, and then of course along came Trishelle and Antonia, and he was just thrilled to have all these beautiful women in his lives. And then all the grandchildren started to come along. He was thoroughly thrilled with the grandchildren. And his camera bag, which he was never without, was always filled with some little treat for his grandchildren. Right? And he just, whatever, when we were out on assignment, if there was any little special treat, that was stuck in his camera bag and he was taking it home. So we knew him as a hard worker, but we knew he loved his family. And his wife, Kay, was a great team. There were many times that Kay cooked for us in the Guardian when we were having celebrations. She was a tremendous cook and a great homemaker. So, you know, in the Guardian, our family just extends. We were just part of each other's lives. And I think we're going to continue that, despite we might pass on to another realm. We're always going to be here for each other. So a great man, a great legacy, and you girls can be proud of your daddy. He, as has been noted, he's made a great contribution, and he did very well in his life. Take care.
Thanks, Hazel. So, Tony's relationship was not peculiar to people in the Guardian whom we worked with, and there were colleagues in the other medias who would have known him and shared, many experiences with him. We have Suzanne, we have Trevor. Trevor, would you like to? Suzanne? Come up. Suzanne? And he was a friend to all in the South media.
Hi, good evening everyone. I'm Suzanne, I work for the Express newspaper. It was a true privilege to be around Tony. He truly was a gentleman. As a young reporter growing up, he willingly helped you with everything from a name of a person to getting into a taxi to maybe even helping with the angle of a story. I was lucky that I didn't see Tony, because of the pandemic. I saw Tony last on his legs at an assignment. And he was ever the bubbly kind of smiley person, always going for the picture. I think it was at the Creative Arts Center that I saw him. And he was like a mainstay in the Creative Arts Center, at Skinner Park, at all these cultural events, you were sure to see Tony. And I think he was a really wonderful, dedicated media photographer. And of course we would see him at weddings and all that, and he would never pass anyone straight. He was always such a bubbly person. That's how I remember him. All right, and this is such a wonderful gathering, and I mourn with everybody in his passing. All right, it was a wonderful person to know. Thank you.
One of the persons who would have worked with Tony for a short period of time, worked with us, and then she left. The draw of the teaching profession called her, so she left to go to join the teaching profession. But I know Michelle has fond memories of Tony that she could share with us. Michelle?
Good night. I worked with Tony for about 8 years at the Guardian. And when I started working at the Guardian, I was originally from Rio Claro. So I came to San Fernando to work, and I didn't really know San Fernando. I didn't really know much people around, but Tony was there. And I knew every time I had to go on an assignment, and I would go with Tony, that I would be safe. I know that Tony was a gentleman, and he would take me safely to wherever I had to go. We would do whatever we had to do, and he would bring me back safely, because I had no idea where I was going, many of these places. But Tony would take care of me. And that is how Tony was to me my entire time at the Guardian. I stayed there for about 8 or 9 years, and we worked together Monday to Saturday. On Saturdays, Tony and I would work together, and we would go all over together. We would purchase lunch together, we would sit and eat together, and he would talk all about Kay, his wife, and he would talk about his children. And and we formed a really good friendship and a good relationship. And I was so sad when I heard that Tony had died even after all this time, because I hold Tony in my heart. Tony was my friend, a very good friend to me. when I got married, I asked Tony to take photographs of my wedding, and Tony readily agreed. And he charged me such a minimal fee to do it because we were friends, very, very good friends. And that's how I remember Tony. Tony will always be special to me.
Thank you, Michelle. Tony is special to all of us. I don't know what slide. Guidance. Yeah, so. Okay. So we have Lucy, one of. Okay.
I'm Solomon. I am Tony's wife, uncle. But I really consider Tony like a younger brother. Because of all the things that everybody said there, I could say almost all the same things about the little time I met with Tony and his attitude and everything about everything. He was really a loving, a kind and loving person. I truly really wish that all of us here can take a page or two out of Tony's life and try to emulate those things. So that he liked to hear my harmonica, and I'm here tonight to play a tune on his behalf, but I want you all to pick up on the tune and sing along if you pick up on it, and try to live the different pages in his life through this song, and we'll do it one day at a time. I got up at 20 past 2, and I wrote a letter to Jesus, and then 10 minutes later I asked, Lord, what would you like me to tell your people today? Because I'm going to a church that is celebrating 4 birthdays around that time, but they're having a cook-up and food on the Sunday service. And the Lord just put it to me and said, tell them how you celebrate love. No, I don't celebrate love on Valentine's Day. I say the song for you. I celebrate love every day. I do it in Jesus' name. Everywhere that I go, with everyone that's within me, I speak about His goodness and His love, His miracles and His grace. I celebrate love in Jesus' name. Celebrate love in Jesus' name. I know He came from heaven above, died on the cross because of God's love. Then He rose again so that He could save us and set us free. Give us eternal hope. All we ask in return is that we love one another as He has loved us, and celebrate love in Jesus' name. Celebrate love in Jesus' name. And this is how we actually celebrated love. Every day, everywhere, in Jesus' name. Thank you.
So it's kind, every year around this time, a cultural icon died. And I think it's kind of fitting that Tony would have, that the good Lord would have chosen to take Tony at this time during the carnival season. And because he loved carnival. Tony was involved in covering everything that was happening in South. He would have been at the Fiesta, he would have been at the Bowl, everywhere. He was here at the Spaniard almost nightly while they were practicing, and it's kind of fitting because he was a media icon, that he would pass in this time. He would celebrate Carnival and religiously on Ash Wednesday would go to the Catholic Church in the promenade to take his ashes and fast for the entire month. No alcohol, no meat, He would fast religiously. And one of the persons he would have interacted in the cultural realm would have been Lucy Regis. And we invite Lucy now to say a few words on behalf of Tony.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me say hello to one of my past actors in the Fabulous Husbands Trivia Competition. He's right behind this mic here. Tony used to say you could rope in anybody. So it was here it is on stage with me, looking back at some pictures. So let me tell you a little bit about Tony and my relationship. Sandfest. So? Yeah, Sandfest. Every time he came to Sandfest, he would say, how much school are you teaching this year? Did I pay you? I said, no, I'm giving back. Some of the students I knew, some I didn't. 2 schools I attended, and I'm giving back because I just love the dance. Tony was the only photographer that came to my first I Love to Dance program at Pleasantville Indoor. And every year he has not missed it. I never saw the next day after me. Now, you see right here? He's the owner from the other. I swear that I go home. We will stand up Friday and talk a whole hour about any and everything under the sun. We talk about health, wealth, creativity. We talk about San Fernando and San Fernandans. Let me say now that Tony used to say, you see that people there, that feel you mad. He said, you are mad, Some people right over here, they feel not mad too. Because I just say what I want to say. I'm fearless. He said, you're free nobody, You say what you have to say. So let me say today one of the things that I have told Tony. San Fernandans, we need clean air. We are breathing to what? To die. So we need clean air. I know that this will reach many people and start taking action because he said to take action, you see. And I'm doing that. I'm also going to share that I'm also going to say that Tony has said, people just want to know where you're doing all of this red, black, and white clothes. All of my outfits are red, black, and white. The things of paper, professionalism, and the colors of the city of San Fernando. So today I want to jump in to the city of San Fernando, and you will observe
he at Skiffle, we're doing a shoot.
My mural
doing live at Skiffle Pancake.
You know the colors of the city? Yellow and blue.
No,
so this is my mural tree.
Tony Howell,
and since Tony used to say, you can say whatever you want. I am saying today that I need a street named after me. I feel I walk and dance on every street in the city of San Fernando.
Okay, well, when I'm done here,
how much time I dance on Cookman Street?
Okay.
How much time I go and dance for everybody for free? He used to say, you fearless. I see you stand up at City Hall a day when they give any dignitaries beautiful refreshments that the dancers and musicians and singers supposed to receive. And if we did not perform, who will do this? So we are performing voluntary, and I also want to say which I've told Tony right in front of there, that I think it stops. I stopped. But it has stopped for me because I don't accept those things anymore. I speak up on behalf of my dancers and all dancers. The dancers who just run and hide because they're afraid to talk. But I don't afraid to talk. You know, the backlash has come to one personally, but I am wearing my mayoral chain. That's the message I'm sending today, no? The mayoral chain. You get the subliminal message. Because the mayoral chain emotes and equates with the motto of the city of San Fernando. Most people are unaware of it. Sanitas Fortis. In a healthy environment, we will find strength. And so therefore, San Fernandans should not be trying to breathe clean air if in a healthy environment, we will find strength. We are close to the site. I have done so much research. I am also now, let me see, a doctoral icon on all that is used in giving the San Fernandans. Yes. So let me see. Some people might see me coffee. Now I had a big C. I have another C. It's called COPD. I don't smoke. I don't smoke cigarette, marijuana. I don't drink alcohol. So you know what? Things come to healing something. We need clean air. And so because I'm a patriot of the city of San Fernando, and I'm a San Fernandian, I would like to say, thank you very much. I was born from the rock of Sandal Hill, and as I grew my rock, fell stronger still, until one day, as I looked at my city from up above, my heart ran red, and I stand proud to be a San Fernando rock. Sanitas Fortis, Sanitas Fortis, Sanitas Fortis, and Aparima. This is an original composition I wrote the year I entered the Prime Minister's President Trophy competition, and they threw me out in the semi-finals, and that eroded the thing of the age you could enter. So after that, Dexter Jennings was vexed because no contestant after the age of 20 was being taken. And so I want to share with the Prime Minister's President Trophy competition because Tony tell me say all of these things, you know, that they have to reopen it because a village doesn't have 16-year-old and under only. It's a village of adults. So you open it. And if it's 50 years and they take part in a rally, then let them take part. Because you are inviting and encouraging people to participate in the program. Villages that don't have little children running about, there are elders who can become Miss Lauren Reville. And I stand proud, and I've pushed for that for many years. I also have a big mouth. I can also clearly say that, let me see, because I'm a patriot, I feel very, very strongly. When my daughter came from school today, she's a teacher. She said, "Mommy, what are you doing?" My children all tell me I'm mad. I said, I'm getting a costume ready for later. Mr. Clifton know me well. I learned all these things from Terrence Mama, who was my mentor. Terrence used to send me to dance at 16 years old in places that I don't even know the dance I'm going to do. He said, you learn improvisation, learn the music. So I got to dance, and that is where I learned how to create pieces on the spot. Some people think it's choreographed pieces. Well, the piece was written in it, obviously can't do yet. It's in my mind, and once you know the concept in life, it comes like creative writing in movement. So you see, I start with right here, the purity of the nation. I'm big on Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a patriot. Nobody can tell me I'm not no patriot. I taught plenty places, and if I go to rehearsal, or if I go on that, you know what, just fly out, right? Yeah. I want red, white, and black. Some people have one black alone, some people have red, white, and black. I in red, white, and black. Not just this, and what's underneath this, but when you cut this, the bloody orange, it's red. Sure. The vitality, that was Sunday. The vitality of the nation. And this black stands for dedication. And the white stands for purity. Where I grew up, I didn't know it's cursing. I grew up on Lower Street in San Fernando. Lower Street in San Fernando, I lived with Gordon Street, Harris Street, Freedom Street, all of those streets. At that point in time, every neighbor was a parent. The madness going on now, I do not understand. They cannot correct a child. And so therefore, that is why society is like that. These are some of the conversations we have right there, and walking out from the Creative Arts Center in San Fernando. Let me say right now, Mr. Howell had asked me, so when are you going to be the chairman of the Creative Arts Center? But it's not the Creative Arts Center. Some people will say, the Creative Arts Center, no, that organization, the organization is the San Fernando Arts Council. I've served on many of the executives, and actually, my mother carried me to a meeting when I was 9 years old. And the meeting was minimum people. And I used to wonder, I'm a teenager, see how what? Why do I here? And so I saw some of the elders and I listened attentively. And we must learn to let go. So because I learned to let go, although I still manage, my eldest daughter is the director of my company. That is why I teach her. And I teach her my outspokenness also, so nobody can take her on. And because I love my country, I ain't taking out of my skin here, a little bit too excited. Yeah. Look, Larry, you're dressing me here. So I tell you a story of this red, white, and black. My mother used to follow me in stores. She started to follow me in stores. The store was Miguel and Moses down there. And she would say, oh, you don't sell this yellow, red, white, and black clothes here. Because they know me so good. Red, white, and black is the only color material I used to buy. I was crazy about red, white, and black, about patriotism, about love of country, about particular Calypsonians who would sing intertwining in the red, white, and black, and the meaning of the red, white, and black. I went to my first David brother concert, and my daughter, my eldest daughter, was 6 years old. I thought I was one of the children. I was up and down that corridor Central, man. Just as I was up and down in that prima bowl when he came down here, people were watching like, what's wrong with she? David brother is singing. This is not unfettered yet, this is madness. These are some of the things that Tony and I will discuss. We discuss, I'm not married yet, so you see when they go and get married. Huh? I'm married to Trinidad and Tobago. I'm married to dance. And so, because this way life, let me tell you Trinidad and Tobago now. The 29th of April is International Dance Day. And let me share with you all, each one of you all are dancing right now. There are 3 levels. Lying, sitting, standing, walking, crawling, creeping, all of those things evolve around dance. So we dance. For the mothers there, persons who give birth, we dance then. Inhale, exhale, push. All of those concepts go together with life. We run, we walk, we stand, we turn. And so therefore, I want to bless each one of you all with the natural Igbo tradition. One of the things that Tony used to say, when you go to all this calabash, the people like them in the old bag, they say you crazy with this calabash and this broom. cleansing the place. In a pali, that's what you use to cleanse the space. Ibo, 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 Tamana, Tamana, Ibo, 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 Tamana, 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 Ayo, Ayo, Tama, Tamana, Tamana, Ibo, 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 Tamana, 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 Tamana. Now in any vessel that you might drink from,
Hello.
you visualize what you are drinking.
Yes,
So
hello.
when I'm passing the calabash, people just eat out of the calabash, they with the calabash, drink in the calabash,
Which
and
man
pass
is
the
open?
calabash. It's whatever you visualize. And the taste
Alright, don't worry,
becomes
we are
special.
tomorrow.
It's whatever you visualize.
Well, it's tomorrow, really. Alright, don't worry. We will do it for tomorrow, 10 o'clock tomorrow at City Hall. Alright. Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. Alright, cool.
through the Creator. I pray for a family of communicators, and I would like to continue serving Trinidad and Tobago. So right now, we all know what is COPD, and I want the Southerners to be aware, because most of us live in the city of San Fernando, the inner city, and we might be unaware of what is affecting us. It might even be why the reason we are masked. Because within our homes, it comes to us. 19 years now. My address is right behind it. So after today, and I can also write to that all of my letters will be going to different people, and people will continue to say you are mad when you are standing for something. You can't change. So let us be hopeful for a change and for a new beginning and a new tomorrow. I must say that. She said that's a milk potential. Wow. Yeah. Bye.
One of another cultural icons who has been, who have had a long relationship with Tony over the years is Kinte, who has served on the TUCO executive at the South Central level. Tony would have hardly missed the show, and Kinte is a guy that we would have known over the years, promoting his music. He would invite us to everything that he was having, and Tony was at a lot of his functions giving him the publicity that the Southern Calypsonians, require. So we invite Kinte on behalf of the TUCO South Central region to share some of his memories and some of his talent for Tony. Kinte.
First, I'm going to say good evening to each and every one. My name is Kitty. We have some problems here. Okay. Yes. As I was saying. I'm Kinte. I'm a Calypsonian by profession. I'm one of the creative in San Fernando. I also represent TUCO, plus another group, South Central Island Production. But before I go there, for myself, I want to say that for my executive and my people, I want to extend condolences to the friends and family of Mr. Howell. The next thing is that another teacher here saying the same thing. So these are darling. I'm not a talker, I'm a vocalist. So whatever that I have to say, I'll say here now that I've known Tony for many moons. I think we discuss everything except two things I believe. I believe we never discuss sports, we never discuss sex. Those are two things we never discussed. I want to remember that. There isn't that event, cultural event in San Fernando or around the Southland. So when I was doing program now at Siparia, Tony was there. And I want to say that San Fernando plus Trinidad and Tobago, we lost a good one. A good son, a good cultural activist, and wherever he's at right now, or wherever he's going, I want to wish him all the best. Let me go find it. I'll try. I never do this. I never seen like this before. And there is a song that I did in my repertoire that whenever Tony comes to one of our shows, he used to ask me, is it in my song tonight? I don't know yet. See, I sing that song. That song that Tony love. I think they have to keep so much. My mic is not working. I don't know how I'll do this, but I'm going to try. I see you have press paper here. Taking my photo and looking to do this song. I was saying to you people, I can't remember the last time I'm in my studio and I did something a cappella. So fight with me. Let's go. Let's try. Don't play the music too loud. And let's go for that. Right. Go for the top. Thank you. After that. Sing I toiled on this plantation. The sun rain for me with my body. They changed the name to that of European. And since then, my life is a struggle. But I'm a single man. I'm a man, born in love. Started to me, I'm a peaceful black man, wanting to be free. I don't wanna be that now the will to be free, until that was always my aim. So with my neighbor, easy way for the change. I'm a single man. I'm a roots man. I know what Master said to me, I'm a peaceful black man, wanting to be free. Road and free is how I used to be. European, I brought the secrets and its flavor to preserve the result of business economy. I'm a single man. I'm a man, born to love. I know what Master said to me, I'm a peaceful lover, wanting to be free.
Well, we're almost at the end, and of this tribute to Tony, and we invite one of his daughters, Trisha, to give a vote of thanks. Antonia?
Trisha.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Is everyone hearing me? Yeah. I'd like to say good night to you all. I just would like to say thank you for being here to celebrate one of my favorite persons in this world.
right, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate our dad, his legacy. Thank you for showing up. Sorry for being late. We just want to say thank you from our family. How do we celebrate Tony? How do we say goodbye to somebody that we do love? How do we say goodbye to somebody that has played a vital role in our lives?
How do we say goodbye? It's hard, but we will try. So once again, we want to say thank you all for coming. And tomorrow at 2 p.m. will be his funeral at Our Lady of Perpetual Help. That's the Catholic Church on the Promenade, followed by the burial site for the final resting at St. Clement's. So that will be about 3:30. So thank you again and do have a good night. Oh, we have some refreshments for you all, so please hang around. We have until 8 o'clock, so feel free to mingle. Thank you.